Hey, what's up, fam? Thank y'all for tuning in once again. As always, be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And when you do subscribe, hit the notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to know about it. Al Sharpton. This guy is a complete joke. He's see-through. You can tell his motives behind things. This dude is not for our people. He needs to be put out the pasture. Not saying out the pasture like, that we as country folks know what that means, but I mean like nursing home, go on, shoot somewhere. Out the limelight, out the spotlight. That dude just ain't no, I haven't seen anything really positive that he's been really behind. Now we have seen him at big funerals, at marches, big time events. But we don't really see him actually doing things for the Black community, from my point of view, actually doing something for the Black community from the heart. I believe it's publicity and money is behind everything that he does, period. Because if that was the case, you would think he would be in Mississippi for that brother whose mother was looking for him for like 7 months. Come to find out that the police ran her son over, buried him in a pauper's grave behind a prison. You would think he would be there, trying to, march like he normally does, but he wasn't there. He wasn't there. Now, what's his name? What's the guy named Ben? Whatever his name is. That lawyer. He's there. He's finally there after the fact or whatever. But anyway, back to Al Sharpton. Ben Crump, that ambulance chaser. But let's get back to Al Sharpton. This dude here has just again showed his ignorance and his buffoonery once again, and this comes from the New York Post, and you can see this all over the internet, but I'm definitely finna hit it right now. It says Sharpton urging Biden administration to stub out menthol cigarette ban. Claims a black market could lead to deadly clashes like Eric Garner's. Now, Eric Garner, and it'll probably say it in this story, got choked out by the police because he was selling loosies. Selling cigarettes that were already in the store. Was it loosies or was it CDs? I think it was loosies. Anyway, selling stuff that's already in the store. He just took it, bootlegged it, and was selling individual cigarettes, making a little extra money. Police came, checked him, choked him out, and there was a big uproar. Now, we talk about police violence. We already established that the police need to be revamped. We ain't saying I'm not saying defund the police. What I'm saying is you have a mentality in the police department from the beginning, and the only way to fix corruption is to get rid of the corrupt people and start over, fresh and new system. Bring it in. Try something else, because what you're doing isn't working for us, right? I already established that. But then too, we have to establish is why does his brother think that he needs to sell bootleg cigarettes, or selling bootleg CDs, or passing out fake bills, whatever the case might be. Why are we in a situation to feel that we have to do that? And what can be done to make sure that we don't have to do that, so that we can stay away from the police, since we know the police don't like us like that? Well, then we feel like there needs to be some kind of programs or things put into place to help us to where we can make enough money, sell products, or have jobs to take care of our families, being educated, programs to help families stay together, reduce crime, like real crime. You see people gang banging and selling drugs and stuff like that, and robbing, stealing, deleting people, really being on top of that or preventing that, because police, the way they got police now is that they're only out there to not to prevent crimes, but to react to crimes. But the thing is, if you got police walking the beat, riding the beat, talking to the community, you can prevent crimes like that. But for some reason, they don't want to do that. So anyway, let's go back to this clown. And I know he's one of my elders, so I hate to call one of my elders a clown, but this is what this is what he is. This is what he's doing. Can't give me one good reason why. Let's get into the story. The Reverend Al Sharpton, it's like I said, NewYorkPost.com. It says the Reverend Al Sharpton is urging the Biden administration to halt its plans to ban menthol cigarettes, saying the move would only lead to an illicit market and potentially deadly clashes such as the Eric Garner case. Sharpton's National Action Network. Now, when the incident happened with Eric Garner, they were selling menthol cigarettes, right? So now you're trying to take menthol cigarettes away. So how is there going to be another Eric Garner situation? But let's continue. Sharpton's National Action Network fired off a letter to the Food and Drug Administration Commissioner Robert Califf, citing the case of Garner, who died in July 2014 on Staten Island after being put in an illegal chokehold by an NYPD officer trying to arrest a 43-year-old resident for selling untaxed loose cigarettes. So the man's 43 years old, selling illegal stuff. Police choked him out. Again, instead of, like I say, revamping the police so they don't learn how to do no chokeholds, teaching them how to subdue people the jiu-jitsu way or the MMA way. You just say, hey, we need to keep menthol cigarettes on the shelves. If not, people like Aaron Gart, there's going to be more brothers being taken out. Okay. The FDA sent its final pitch for the ban to the White House's Office of Management and Budget in October for review, signaling the menthol mandate is in its last stages of approval. OMB is set to the Office of Management and Budget. OMB is set to conduct interviews with experts and others about the issue over the next 3 months before moving on the proposal, according to the agency's website. Menthol prohibition would create illicit markets and more police interaction, especially in minority communities. Now, when you say prohibition, it reminds me of the alcohol prohibition back in the early 1900s when they banned alcohol, and somehow the mafia was getting it into the country, or people were just making it. So my thing, do people know how to make menthol cigarettes? I mean, if you do, then shoot, he may have a point. I don't know. But I don't know nobody that can make menthol cigarettes. I know people that can make liquor. I know people that can roll their own cigarettes, but making menthol cigarettes specifically, I don't know. I mean, that's going to be like, I don't know. And then, the prohibition with the alcohol and all that big old thing where they were bringing it illegally and they was, raiding these warehouses. Then eventually they brought it back. Now, let's see, National NAN, it said, but National Action Network wrote in a June 2022 letter to Califf that was obtained by the Post. For example, Eric Garner was a black killed by the NYPD for selling loose, untaxed cigarettes, but they weren't illegal cigarettes. He just sold legal stuff illegally. I mean. NAN is uniquely qualified to offer a valuable civil rights perspective on our concerns and the unintended consequences, said the letter, which lists Sharpton along with NAN Chairman Franklin Richardson. Man, Sharpton, come on, dude. You really can't be behind this. National Action Network, you really can't be behind this. Why is this even a discussion? Aren't there better things in the world that you should be concerned with on trying to help our people? For instance, talk about reparations. Why are you not at the forefront writing letters for reparations? Why are you not in the forefront trying to figure out how to get black people back the land that's been stolen from them over the past so many decades, 100 years or so? That's what I want to see. Don't nobody care about no dog on me menthol cigarettes. I don't know. Let's see. Historically, policies that lead to prohibitions have profound racial justice implications, the organization added. Again, but that you talking about back with the Italian mafia and stuff like that with alcohol. That was a prohibition thing. The civil rights leaders asked why federal officials were targeting the ban on menthol cigarettes, which are disproportionately favored by black smokers, while other cigs smoked by whites were not being outlawed. Advocates for the proposed rule have not been able to explain why the preferred product for black adult smokers will be subject to ban, while the select products of most will remain legal and available, the NAN leader said. They said the ban puts a microscope on minority communities. Well, you know how they are. That's what they do, right? How about you just stop smoking? Anyway, get your patch. Learn how to knit, sew, crochet, something. The preachers also said they were baffled by the push for prohibition, given how smoking rates are significantly down overall anyway. Sharpton and Richardson even took on a libertarian tone. The role of government in the free society is to protect one's rights from being violated by their fellow citizens. Man, let me tell you something about cigarettes. Cigarettes should be banned. Alcohol should be illegal. Period. Because these things are so detrimental to the health of not just black people, but everywhere. I work in dialysis. I know I've been working in hospitals for at least, 15 years or so. I know I've seen people with kidney failure, liver failure, and talk to them and see their charts. And they tell stories about how they used to party. I knew a cat who was probably in his late 20s, early 30s, who kidneys and livers was like shot to hell, and he was on dialysis. And I knew him because he was like 3 or 4 years younger than me in high school. I remember him for being a freshman in high school, and I was either junior or senior in high school. The boy can play ball, and he ended up transferring to another school, and they won a couple state championships. I knew this cat, seen him in the hospital. I'm like, dude, I know we knew each other. We was talking. He said he was on dialysis, early 30s, man. I know young cats who've been on dialysis for 10, 15 years, but my point is a lot of these stories, especially when they're young, it has to do with drinking, and blood pressure, and then you can go with diet and stuff like that. So you want to start somewhere. So you start the cigarette, just ban them all. Ban alcohol. But people want to say, oh, they should be able to enjoy something, but it's killing them. But it's killing us. Sure, I used to drink alcohol, not like super duper drinker, but from time to time. But you got people that do it, that drink hard. But again, a lot of times it's people who are trying to escape something. So they go turn to drinking, smoking, drugs, whatever, because they're trying to escape from realities, problems they have. They don't know how to handle it. So they ain't got they have no real support group. A real support group will keep you from having to do that kind of stuff. And so to where you can figure out how to take a better route when it comes to dealing with the problem that you have. But that's my point. It's just ban it all. But they want to ban menthol cigarettes. I got no problem with it because there's cigarettes anyway. It say if some people continue to smoke despite all these factors, they should be able be free to do so. This proposed rule will not reduce the number of people smoking. Instead, it will increase the number of people who use illicit tobacco, creating an underground market for menthol cigarettes and flavored cigarettes that will go unregulated, the NAN leaders wrote. So you already had, let me tell you like this. They have the government can do whatever the heck they want to when it comes to cigarettes. Think about this. Remember Joe Camel, right? They've banned, you can't put a cartoon character selling cigarettes. They can't even advertise squares no more. And a matter of fact, when you go in the stores, there has to be a sign on stores now that says that Big Tobacco pretty much knew these things cause cancer and they still sell them. All that has, no, so that stuff has to be done. So you don't think that they can tell them, like even with the the vapes, they've got rid of some of the vape flavors because they're geared towards children. You know, well, like candy, cotton candy, peppermint, stuff like that. Things that kids like. So they got these vape companies that say, no, you can't sell these type of flavors. I don't hear about an illicit market for vapes. You know what I'm saying? I don't hear that more kids are smoking because they got a sign up in front of the store or they took away the camera. They even got commercials out talking about how bad cigarettes are. So I don't understand what the problem is. You want to do things to improve your community. Why is you butthurt because they want to stop the sale? I think Al Sharpton is getting paid. Either he smoked menthol cigarettes, either he's smoking Newports, or he's getting paid by Newport people to do this. Because like I said, this doesn't make any, especially you're a preacher. First of all, you're a preacher. If you're a preacher, you're supposed to be against any kind of drinking, smoking, drug use, illegal activity, period. You shouldn't be fighting a cause to where an illegal activity or morally wrong activity is in the forefront, is the center of this of the argument. You're supposed to step back on that. Only thing you're supposed to be fighting for is like families, you know, keeping families together, try to reduce single motherhood, reduce single parenthood, bringing better education to the community, bringing more better jobs, not just little jobs, but more better jobs where people your community get paid more, so they won't have to be in poverty. That's the kind of stuff that as a preacher, you're supposed to be supporting. What it say, the civil rights advocates said they favored health education programs and smoking cessation programs, and other measures that do not have serious implications for unintended consequences. What the hell? That sounds like an oxymoron. You want to have education, but don't get rid of menthol cigarettes. You shouldn't be saying don't get rid of menthol cigarettes. You should be saying you need to get rid of all cigarettes. That's what you should be advocating for, not going the other way. Gwen Carr, the mother of Eric Garner, also spearheaded a campaign against the menthol ban. She even last week urged Senate, I think they paid her too. I'm sorry to say it. That's probably part of her settlement. She even last week urged Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to come out against the proposed prohibition. Opposition from Carr, Sharpton, and others stalled attempts in New York, in Albany, and in New York City Council to ban menthol cigarettes. The issue has divided the black community. NAACP backs the menthol ban, arguing the tobacco industry has marketed to black residents to hook them on flavored cigarettes. Exactly. So what's wrong with somebody smoking something and hurting their throat? Shoot, that means you need to put it down, right? Sharpton told the Post on Sunday that Carr is a member of the NAN and that he and the organization were following her lead on the issue. President Biden's FDA, maybe Carr, maybe she the one smoking Newports and say the other stuff is too harsh for her to smoke. President Biden's FDA in April 2021 announced a proposed federal rule to outlaw the minty cigarettes along with flavored cigarettes, both of which the agency noted are disproportionately popular with black smokers. At the time, the FDA cited a study that indicated a menthol ban would prompt 923,000 smokers, including 230,000 black Americans, to quit within 13 to 17 months. I don't understand this argument. I'm really understand why in the heck I'm even doing this story. But because it's silly. The argument is silly. But let me go to one little quick clip And then I'm gonna end this. This is from newsnetwork.mayoclinic.org. It's a question that says, why are menthol flavored cigarettes a concern? It said whether to ban the menthol flavored cigarettes is up for public comment through Tuesday, August 2nd. So this is written last year. The FDA proposed banning menthol flavoring in cigarettes earlier this year, stating the additive makes menthol cigarettes easier to use, particularly among youth and young adults. So they're trying to get rid of they're trying to stop young people from smoking, period. So it says, if I'm reading it right, if I'm not going into my conspiracy theory, they're trying to stop smoking for young people. Menthol, vapes with flavors, all that stuff. Trying to stop it. Why would you want your kids would you want it to make it easier for kids to smoke? I remember when I was a little kid, man, I used to have a young uncle. I had an uncle. I remember he used to smoke cigars. I thought it was a cool thing. We were standing outside my grandmother's house one night, so he smoked it, and he threw it out. Now, he threw it in the yard, in the front drive. And I remember my dad, he wanted me to go to the car for him. It was nighttime or whatever. So I went to the car. Well, I think he wanted me to go to the car for him to get something. Went to the car. When I walking back, I saw the cigar on the ground. I picked it up and I inhaled it, and I choked. And it was terrible. I don't think I smoked another cigar until I was in my 20s. No. Well, yeah, I did try Black and Miles for a little while. But then it was nah, this ain't the thing for me to do. Like I said, I don't understand why you are fighting against this. You need every victory possible. We still need our tangibles as a community, but I'm just an advocate for health. I've changed my diet for the most part. Eating more fruits and vegetables, no meat, very little dairy. Drink nothing but water, to tell you the truth. And I feel better most of the time. It is what it is, lost some weight. That's just, so I'm an advocate for anything that's helping people get healthy. It's gonna be some adverse effects when you take away poison. The body is gonna crave it. You're gonna go through withdrawal, but in the end, if you fight through it, you come out better on the other side. But anyway, man, I'm done with this. I just can't go too much. Tell me what you think about this story, man. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. Am I wrong about Al Sharpton? Remember Al Sharpton used to work, was a snitch. He got hemmed up. I think he was trying to sell some drugs back in the 80s or something, preaching rare. And they hemmed him up. He's wearing wires. Trying to take down the mob. So you just got to think about who you're dealing with. Anyway, tell me what you think about this story. Leave your comments below and then share it with the world. And with that being said, I'll leave you in peace. And I'll see you on the other side.